Hello and welcome everyone. I welcome all the esteemed faculty members and professionals who have joined us today for this third day of the AICTE ATAL sponsored and SSC NASCOM organized program on generative AI fluency. I hope that the last 2 days have been extremely useful, and we and our experts have shared their practical advice on real world uses of generative AI in various domains. So I hope you have been listening carefully and also completing the corresponding modules on Future Skills Prime. A very good evening to all of you again. Some of you are still joining. Uh, So there are some important instructions that we would like to share with all of you once again. So as you know that for this program, 80% attendance is mandatory for the online classes, and 70% is the score of 70% is mandatory for your assessment. The assessment will happen on the Future Skills Prime platform once you finish the course on generative AI fluency. So that's why I'm urging all of you to finish the course. There were some questions which you had asked. So there is a quiz at the end of every module on Future Skills Prime, the course, Generative AI Fluency. So at the end of each module, there is a quiz. You need to complete that quiz. So you can take as many retakes of that quiz as many as needed to clear it. There is there is nothing to stop you from that. No marks will be deducted for that. Please complete the quiz. Take as many retakes as possible to get to pass the quiz. Uh, so we will be also, there have been some questions that there was some 600 rupees assessment. So none of you have to pay that 600 rupees. We will be generating a promo code for you. You will get that promo code in your email by Friday. You will get that promo code in your email, and on Saturday 6:30 to 7:30 will be your online assessment on Future Skills Prime. So you will log in, go to the assessment, you will put in the promo code, the assessment will become free for you, and then you can take the test. And if there are any queries that you have, please put it in the question box or in the chat box. I'll suggest that you put the questions in the question box, and any queries, logistic queries that you have, you can put it in chat. I will answer your queries, or you can put it in question box also. We will take all the efforts to answer all your queries and remove any doubts that you have. And I'll also urge you to engage with the speakers. So today we have, again, we have promo code is basically a coupon that you will get when you put that in the platform, in the Future Skills Prime platform assessment. That 600 rupees will be waived off and you will get access to the assessment. So I hope that makes it clear. So I'll just move on to now the session. So the session here is today's topic is everyday uses of generative AI, language translation, and resume writing. And we are very privileged to have with us again Mr. Srijit Nair. He took a very engaging session yesterday and gave you all practical tips on how to use prompts to generate the output that you need. So I'll just quickly, for the benefit of some of you who were not able to attend, introduce him again. He is a technology-driven development strategist with over 2 decades of experience in innovation, policy, and social impact. With an MTech and a Master in Social Work, he combines technical knowledge with a deep understanding of people and communities. He designs and manages programs that use technology to make social initiatives more efficient, transparent, and impactful. As a consultant with IIT Delhi for the Abhay Sarthi program, he helps integrate digital tools to improve the welfare and safety of India's truck drivers. Srijit believes that technology and empathy must work together to drive real change. His trainings are practical and easy to apply, as we saw yesterday. He helps participants use technology to solve real world problems and create inclusive, scalable, and solutions for lasting impact. So, without any delay, let me hand it over to you, Srijit. Please take it from here.
Thank you again, Bhavna. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to have an interaction with you all again. So, post yesterday, I again will start with a brief understanding of what exactly is it that you would be looking at from the session. Let me say the session what it is about. It is about understanding how to look at resume in a new modern way. Like we all have come from ages where resume uh, instead of resume, it used to be called CV, biodata. It used to have everything from hobbies to what I used to play in class 10th. 3 pages, 10 pages. It has evolved to a place where now we wind up in 1 to 2 pages, but yet it has all impactful things. Modern day, the interface having a minimalist thing, but yet covering all major uh, pointers of what your career track has been. Everything has to be mentioned. So now doing this can be a big challenge for a new person, a student whom you might be guiding as a mentor. Uh, uh, Apart from that, say you yourself would like to have a new age CV, a pretty bit sharper one. So now with all your say 20 years, 25 years, 30 years of working, it's pretty tough to put in 2 to 3 pages. बट यू एंड इट हर्ट्स एन ईगो अ बिट जब मैंने पहली बार उसको अपने 5 पेज के सीवी को 2 पेज किया था इट हर्ट मी अ बिट what all I have not been covering. But then the realization what exactly is a CV for in a new and modern age, and how AI is going to help us understand everything, yet make a very sharp and neat communication in terms of what we are projecting in terms of our CV or resume. So that all is something that we will cover. We will also look at LinkedIn, what exactly is it and how it will help us project ourselves better. And it is the new social media for career. Somebody who's aspirational, somebody would like to be connected and learn a lot. It's a very good platform. So an AI part of how we can look at tweaking our profiles on LinkedIn as well. So those are the aspects we want to cover. So now I'll just check if anything yesterday's PPTs and everything, yeah, that would be done. Anything specific, the key takeaways from your end that you would like to know, or what exactly is the challenge in terms of resume or understanding LinkedIn, which you are facing, or something that you would like me to cover a bit more. If anything, you can just add on the chat. Job hunting on LinkedIn. Okay, that I'll specifically cover. Remote jobs. Okay, that's part of the job hunting part subsection. Okay, basic. So anything else? We can keep the session interactive. In between, if anything, you can ask questions. So I'll keep it a bit practical. I'll share some tips, etc. in between. So let me start with the presentation for the day. Yes, so welcome to the session on everyday uses of generative AI for language translation and resume writing with a focus on LinkedIn. So first we will understand how to revamp your resume with a generative AI. That is one component that we would be looking at. So before we start, what makes for a good resume? I have shared on the left side, you can see one of the neat formats that particularly appeals as of now. Very minimalistic, yet covering everything. It looks neat, it has all the critical aspects, and yet short and sweet. So, for a new person, say somebody who doesn't have much of a experience, starting with this kind of an template would be very good. And
Sonali can't see your screen. Others, I am able to see his screen. Uh, can others see his screen? Please type in the chat window. I am able to see his screen. Amit is also able to see. Susan is. Sonali, maybe you want to log off and then log back in.
maybe the layout screen that would have been selected. On top, you can see the layout screens. You select the specific one in which presentation is there. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, Rajiv also is not able to see. Maybe he needs to also select the layout screen. Rajiv Kumar Singh. Please see if either you can log out and log back in, or you can see if the layout is selected correctly. Right, I think we can proceed.
Okay. So hope the screen issues are resolved. And so
Yeah.
now on the left side, again coming to this CV. So something like this is very appealing to any particular uh, HR person who would be looking at or screening to from say hundreds of CVs to finalize 10 CVs within a specific time, and understand that today job hunting has become a difficult thing. A lot of CVs reach a person when a right kind of job is posted. The struggle here is that looking at a particular perspective of a HR who might be getting 500 CVs, have to sort all those CVs and then get to say top 10 to top 20 so that the interactions can start. So for them, screening has become automatic. There's something called ATS. ATS is the system that use applicant tracking system, we say. So we should be able to project what all critical keywords are there. So for everything, this is simple. And what makes a particular CV appealing is that it should have a clear and simple layout, something that you can read within 10 seconds. Glance, 10 seconds, it can be glanced and something substantial can be derived out of it. It is a good CV. 1 to 2 pages, consistent fonts. Another example you will see mostly the newbies making some kind of credential they will get. They will copy and paste it from one. Again, they will sit at a different laptop someday, add on with a different font. So there are 3 or 4 fonts in one CV. That shouldn't happen. It also should start with a professional summary. Previously, most of the CVs used to start with objective. My objective is to get into a role where I can interact with people, leverage my potential, gain knowledge, etc., etc. So what happens is that what you aspire for, that is good. But what is the summary? I am a result-oriented person who has done these things, focused on these things. These are the outcomes that I have achieved, and these are the things I am efficient in. Summary, basic summary should be part of the CV. It should also use action verbs. So say part of X team for X intervention. Instead, we can say that I have led X kind of team. I coordinated such an event, such a prestigious intervention. I improved X number of processes in an organization. I achieved this kind of outcome when I was looking at a particular intervention. So these kind of verbs should be part of that resume. It also should include numbers to show results. That's a fantastic aspect. 10-second glance, if you want it to happen, you need to have numbers in place. Very easy to glance, easy to understand. Say somebody who is saying, Ki, I managed to bring more efficiency, or I managed to identify mistakes and overcome those. Instead, says reduced errors by 25%. Fantastic. Glanceable at one point, and it is already noted. It is already stuck in the mind of a person reading. It should also be tailored to the job description. So another mistake that I have seen people make is that they believe that resume is something that you make it once and communicate over to everybody that this is my resume. So modern day, it's not like that. That is one of the critical takeaways. If you want one key takeaway to go from this session, it should be that resumes always need to be tailored to the job description. It's not a painting or an art that you are making that the world needs to appreciate. It's something through which a person is saying that what you aspire for a candidate, I am that person. So that communication goes when it is tailored to the job description. This is one critical component where AI does a wonderful job of identifying the keywords, tailoring your CV. So I'll take you through the demo of what I mean in the subsequent slides. It should also, another aspect that should happen is that it should list around 6 to 8 focus skills. So it shouldn't, a student, for example, will start from everything from elocution to debate to art and culture to everything. So it should be like the group that he's looking at and focusing one skill would be that he has been good with communication. He has been good with sports. So 10 kind of sports that he has played, he doesn't need to mention everything. Athlete with focus on X or Y. That's good. That's a skill that that person may be looking at. If you are looking at your level, if you are looking at something, so researcher with 10 publication instead of saying that I have researched for X and Y and Z. So that is a better way to group that skill set into one line. And 6 to 8 such skills you can have focus. And it should be friendly applicate tracking system should be something that is it is friendly with what it is. I'll share it. It should also ensure that there is no spelling, grammar, and this is where AI to proofread it helps. And final takeaway: authentic, concise, and achievement driven. What has been achieved? What is the potential of the candidate to achieve when hired? Those specific aspects it should be reflecting. So those are the key takeaways that forms a good resume. Now this is what we are aspiring for. So now how to turn your resume into something that you see on the left side or something better than this. What are the tools that you can use? So we will discuss on these aspects. Now resume writing with generative AI. So step by step we will take through. So first it is about choosing the right kind of tool. So what happens is that when you compare AI resume builders, there are many resume builders available now. I'll take you through many of the names. I'll share this in the PPT. But at the same time, my favorite is Resi. Something called Resi. I'll give you a demo of what you can do with Resi. Resi is very good with ATS that I mentioned. So it offers a GPT powered writing and a easy customization. What we also should look at is building sections efficiently. So section wise, as you said, as you saw that work experience is one section, education is another one. So building sections efficiently and autofilling work experiences, refining AI generated points with real achievements, those are some things that you can do with simple prompts like make the statement more actionable. What we can also see is that the tailor to job description is something that we can do, where paste job postings in ChatGPT to check, fit, and align. And simple prompts like, does this resume align with the role? How to do that, I'll show in the next PPT. So that can be done. Then one critical aspect impactful bio, or what you call as summary, professional summary instead of objective. So that can help me summarize this candidate for a third person bio. So that is something that you can do, and it generates summary drafts using ChatGPT. And how we can do that is that we can have a reference system, a feedback from peers to enable that. And also avoid common pitfalls. Don't rely blindly on AI. Read, understand. While the first screening happens with AI, second screening should also happen at your level. And always, yesterday I mentioned one very critical prompt. Always ask the LLM to reread your resume, reread and share what is the error that you have found. So customize, you using this customize uh, per job and proofread the outputs every time. So generative AI thus makes resume writing faster, more strategic, but at the same time, human refinement is something that gives it the heart and authenticity. So that is one statement that we would be looking at. So let's dive into the actionables. So what makes a resume work is the purpose of a resume. Purpose of a resume is not to reflect what your achievements have been or what your story is as a template, fixed template that world needs to follow. The purpose is to secure an interview. It is not about what just listing what you have done. So that purpose is something always has to be kept in mind, and you as a mentor needs to make this understandable to all the students, because one common mistake that 99.9% students make is this: have one CV, share it with everybody. Job X and job Y, same CV goes. Now it is up to the HR to see if I you want to hire me or not. So that won't work in the real scenario. So ideal structure, it's header and contacts where the person's name, all the details are in place. Work experience is mentioned, education is mentioned, skills, certification is mentioned. And then if any projects, awards or volunteering aspects are there, those are the critical aspects that needs to be mentioned. So basic, these are the basics with which we can look at a particular resume. So here it's not clear enough, but I have shared two versions. A average version, normally how a student will come up with. The student won't even categorize into these aspects with lines and everything. But this is the best that an average student will do with this first time CV, where basics are mentioned. Now the same things, you just somebody interacting or a AI prompt that develop this into a professional resume. Just one simple prompt can change that into a more structured one. So if you're not able to see this, I'll just share here. So this is how a average resume or what we call as a bad resume will look at. Name, details are given. Objective, to get a good job where I can work. Education, did my BSc. Experience, worked at this, did this, helped in office works, good at computers and teamwork. So what exactly within computers is the person good? If somebody asks and documents it and makes it into actionable, what the student did becomes better, because it is something that the person is already experienced with something. Only thing is that it's not mentioned in the proper way. And skills, another thing, MS Word is a favorite thing. Every student, 99% of the CVs will have this. And then computer, what in computer means what? You can open the computer, you can code, you can make generative AI, and you are an expert in AI. What exactly? Communicate. So you are a person who can communicate with an AI based template and everything, and have on a daily basis you are posting, or you can just draft a mail. What is it? So simple. And others, etc. Etc. is, I don't know why it's one of the favorite words that definitely needs to be avoided by anybody. So this is what a normal CV would look like. I'll share how you can just change the same into something like this, where this is the same thing. Like you can just give a prompt. I'll share the same with you as well here. That make this a bit better, and something like this is what the GPT will come up with. Dheeraj Thakur, name and details are given, location is given, LinkedIn. It is very good to have a LinkedIn profile and that LinkedIn profile being mentioned here. Mostly what you can also do is that when you cover, it's a text-based resume, I'll also share how you can have a bit of visuals added through Canva. That is also one part that I will cover. So professional summary. So here it was objective to get a good job. Here it is like coordinated with experience in program operations, data management, stakeholder. So I'm giving you a real world CV here. I just changed the name, but this is something that I got for a profile that was being filled. So I just changed the name and number and everything. But and then I just asked the person what all you have done, and I just added those as the keywords. So, project coordinator with experience in program operations, data management, stakeholder coordination, practical result oriented, experience in field level digitization, process improvement, cross functional team support, comfortable with data tools, reporting for government and NGOs. So, how does this look? Like it sounds very professional. Like you would like to recruit this guy, you would like to avoid this guy. Both guys are same. Only thing is that how the person is reflecting what genuinely has been done. Key skills, professional experience, education, training, prospects, and language. So let's just dig deeper into how we can do this. I can just copy, say if I'm getting, if one of your student comes to you like this, you can just say, hey, Dheeraj, just next time you come to me, just copy this and go to ChatGPT, say, use this information to make me a professional resume. Ask questions if required. And here, paste it. And again, if you're using ChatGPT, I'll suggest use ChatGPT 5. Just go to auto. So sometimes it is just ChatGPT, it's the basic minimal version. Use ChatGPT 5. So it is saying what all, before proceeding, I would like to clarify a few details. So full name, would you prefer? It is asking me questions. Would you like to make the middle name initials or shorter or whatever? Career goals, what do you want exactly to be reflected? Education details. So it is again asking which college or university did the person come from? What has been the specialization? Graduation year. So all these questions are normally, while 25 years back, I was making a CV, so from Naukri.com or something, at that time, 300 rupees was a big deal for me. I spent 300 rupees to get a 6,000 rupees job, I believe, at that particular time. But that 300 rupees led me to, so that is how I started my career. So, yeah, so all these questions at that time, I remember somebody asking me and then punching all the data and manually going through it, telling me कि 2 दिन बाद आना, then sharing the resume with me. So all these questions it will ask. Once I punch in all the data, then this is the kind of, I'm not going manually with everything, but just punch in all the data, basic questions, and it will create something like this. This is the output that you will get once you punch in all the data. So any questions on this particular aspect? I would welcome if you have any particular query regarding.
There was one question
Hmm.
from Dr. Shikha, I think that is it okay to give personal details in the CV? So, what is the level of personal detail that needs to be shared? I think that is the question.
No personal detail, only professional detail. What you can do is that ki while you're making, it's a very good question, whosoever asked. What you should always do is that something that I have done, that it's not Dheeraj Thakur's resume, it's somebody else's resume. It's not his phone number, it's somebody else's phone number. All personal decision details, avoid sharing it with a LLM. Of course, if you have a, personal, like I here user, on the bottom left, you will see plus written here. So mine is a professional. I pay around 2000 rupees a month. I get a personalized thing. So until you are not ready to spend from your pockets, don't share the data. Personal advice. So avoid that. It's a very good question. Whoever asked.
It was, I hope it's answered. Dr. Sneha Bora had asked this question. So, I hope this is answered.
Just when you're putting, just change the name. So instead of Sneha Vora, make it Srijit Nair. Please don't share my mobile number. So you can say 9910 times. And here, test at demo is something I especially, it's my favorite email ID whenever I am giving something to ChatGPT. Location, of course, Delhi, you can share. Don't share your address. What you can do later, in some cases, you want to share your professional, say, residential or which area you belong to. Delhi NCR, if you are having a interview, that is a relevant aspect that interviewers ask. Because if the posting, if the office is in Noida, nobody wants somebody from Gurgaon. If the office is in Gurgaon, nobody wants somebody from Noida. So that is one aspect that asks. So add on those details. Again, it is a custom query and depends on the where the job is. Then you can ask, add all those details. LinkedIn also you avoid sharing and later you can add. Rest everything, yes, because that those are professional aspects. Anyways, once it is punched in, you are sharing it with sites like Naukri.com, with HRs. It is an open document. It is relayed. So then there is a minimal control that you have over it. So such decisions or details you can share. Or in other way, anything that you would like to share in LinkedIn is something you can share. LinkedIn में कोई भी नंबर नहीं मांगता, या आपका ईमेल आईडी नहीं दिखता, आपका मोबाइल नंबर नहीं दिखता. There is an option. Just share. I'm sorry, I'm using Hindi in between. Do we have a beneficiaries from South as well who has joined in? My apologies in that case.
We have participants who have joined from across India. So we have from
Okay.
North, also from
So
South also.
my apologies, like say, my brain thinks in Hindi, some things will come, but anyways, I'm communicating.
If there's any
Uh,
question or
yeah.
if you miss anything, please put it in the question answer box. We will take it up. So that should be fine. I'll urge the participants to put their comments in the chat box and questions in the question box. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just move on. So this is how you can differentiate or help somebody. Suggest that next time you come, use a basic prompt. Ask the GPT to make me a professional resume. Answer all the queries and get a basic refined answer, refined system. Now, strong statement. So one of the strong, say, catchy aspect is the kind of statement, resume statements that you are making. A weak one would be responsible for managing team operations. A strong something would be led a six-member operations team, reducing delivery time by 18% through process automation. So the core formula to have this kind of statements is situation, star, you say, situation, task, action, and result. Situation is context of your work, what you did exactly. Say, led a six-member operation team. Task, reduce delivery time. Action, what you did. It was reduced by 18%. That is the result, measurable outcome through process automation. Actually, it should be based on the A, it should be using process automation to reduce delivery time by 18%. But that's moreover more about having that sentence right. But these are the core components that you can use. How you can use is that key. You can again say, just to use a statement, use the following pointers to make me a statement about my job, about uh, that I want to add to my resume. And then give the situation, context of work, task, action, result. These are the things that require. Ask me question to start. So since here I have mentioned that it is being green NGO in which I have worked, so it is understanding the context that I have already started my say asking the query. It understands the context which has already been shared. It is asking, okay, at being green NGO, what kind of work or project were you mainly involved with? If I say I was involved with partnership building. So this was a task. Now the question two, it is asking, what were your main goals or objective in the partnership building role? To rope in key stakeholders for a collaborative project. So what actions did you take to bring these stakeholders? I managed to bring five key stakeholders together and start a project within a week. Question four, who are these stakeholders? Like, so I can say two NGOs, one state government, and two CSRs. So it is an asking the fifth question, what was the project about? I can say it was about um, say women entrepreneurship, right? Hmm. So basically, it's like somebody's asking me, and I use very simple English, made some grammatical mistakes. Of course, my typing is not that great, making some certain mistakes, but the output is this: facilitated collaboration among two NGOs, one state government department, and two CSRs partners to launch a rural women entrepreneurship project within a week, accelerating stakeholder alignment, enabling rapid on-ground implementation. So this kind of, so these are powerful statements. So sometimes you have done something, but you don't know how to express it in a professional way. So if this looks a bit long, like it looks a bit long, and another prompt that I had shared, use simple English, short sentences. That's it. So one aspect that I have done, I have added. So this is like if somebody wants to this more than for a student, it's something that somebody who has worked for 10-20 years would like to do, because there's so much done, so much that I would like to show everything. But it would create a 30 page, it would create a booklet sort of a thing. So the biggest, so the thickest resume I have seen was around 27-28 pages. It was almost like a booklet.
I think if I may interrupt, I'm going to use this for my half yearly review. So,
Yeah, it
um,
makes it impactful.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And there are two questions,
Yeah.
if I may add. So
Mhm.
there's a question from Vivek Prakash. He's asking, is there any free good application tracking system where we can check our CV for its
I'll share it with you. Of course, it is free means you can use it 1 or 2 times. But for teaching purpose, I will share how you can surpass it. Just for teaching purpose, please don't misuse. I'll share it.
And okay, and then we have a question from Mr. Mohsin Mohammed. He's asking, will we have to create separate CVs for each employer, or is a single professional CV to do the work? I think you already answered it.
Of course. Please don't do this. This is a mistake that everybody does. Don't do that. Why don't do that? I'll come to that also. So just that is the next thing that I want to cover. So it says ATS, or application tracking system optimization. What is it? Like nowadays, and this is from the HR's perspective. Everybody uses softwares now. This is one of the key softwares that every HR now uses. It's like whenever you have a job opening, there is an interface where this is the job opening, this is the JD that is required, and these are the 100 and or say 500 CVs that I have received. Based on the keywords, select 25 resumes for me. Something similar to this, or say it's a normally it is an interactive things. What is the JD? Upload. How many CVs you would like to select? Do you want 100% of the keywords to be matching? 80%, 90%, how much? So normally HR will say around 80% to match hona chahiye. Those are the minimum required keywords that should be part of. And otherwise, normally what HR will do is that it will start with 100%. It will see if they are getting 25 CVs. If they are not getting 25, it will come down to 90%, 80% till they get around 20-25 CVs. Then they will manually go through it uh, and select the top 10 best 10 CVs or 5 CVs. Then they will go with the interview aspects. It saves tons of time for them. So since the first level enough, it is not a human doing the work. Please understand this. Till a human was doing the work, your 25-page long resume was very good. Because the if a HR professional is biased that कि no 25% मतलब ज्यादा काम किया है, your chances of getting selected increased. Nowadays it is not a human, it is a machine doing the first level of screening. You are eliminated before any human can ever read your resume. So just to avoid that, ATS based understanding, what is application tracking system, how your resume is going to be tracked, what are the keywords that are part of job description. Understand that job description first. Understand, then based on the understanding, you will create, say, edit your resume accordingly. Then avoid tables, graphics, headers that confuse anybody. So another aspect is that I've seen this happening with a lot of people who want to share a communication related profile. Say here we just wanted somebody for a communication opening, and there were CVs in which whatever kind of artwork they know, they have shared it in their CVs. So a lot of designs and everything. So sometimes it becomes tough for me to understand what is the keywords or what is the text used in it. Machines will eliminate it altogether. So that is something that we can avoid and use simple formatting. Mostly Calibri or Arial is something that, since most of our documents are in one particular kind of fonts, our brains are now tuned to understand that font subconsciously. Same material, if you give me in a very different font, I will take, say, if for a sentence, my brain is taking half a second with Calibri or Arial font. With a new font, it can go to 0.75 or 1 second, almost double. For a sentence, it doesn't look like much, but for a page or two page, it might be something that glancing within 10 seconds, it's not possible. So do that, not X bosses, avoid those. That also is something that you should ensure. Now, how to create that particular aspect. So here there are two aspects that you need to understand. First, whenever you are going and looking at say any job posting, you get it. First, copy it. That is one aspect that is required. But two material, you will use ChatGPT as the base for identifying the keywords in a job posting, tweaking your resume accordingly. First, what you need is ChatGPT. Second thing that you will need is a job opening and copy text for the same. And third, of course, would be your CV, which needs to be screened. You can just use ChatGPT, not even required to use a ATS system. Now, I'll tell you what हम free में ChatGPT को ही कैसे ATS tracking system बनाते. I believe a lot of things in the world are free. You just need to be sharper and use your mind. So I'll say what I'm using for this is there is a job opening that I have already downloaded. Just yesterday I downloaded. So it says that by 20th October, this person needs to, and I just look for something which is aligned to what the expertise of the resume mentioned for Dheeraj Kumar is. I just you search for something कि अच्छा अगर X resume के लिए कोई job opening होगा तो क्या होगा. What I did is that कि I just looked for program manager positions at executive levels. I plainly use Google, nothing else. So for development sector, there is a DevNet kind of an interface. It just redirected to me to those one of the those websites. I just copy pasted it. So no rocket science in how you get. So basic searching, and students are very much adept with finding it. So this is the kind of job opening. I believe that nobody wants me to Google this and find the particular website. Very easy to do. So I just took this. That's one document that I have. The second is that the uh, job of the particular Dheeraj's resume. So there are two resumes. So I just created another file in which I have his resume only. So these are the two files that I will be using for this. And I'll now shift to a new chat. The prompt that I will be using yesterday, if somebody remembers, always use start with a role that you want ChatGPT to assume. So I'll say assume you are an expert in using so this is one assumption that I am saying कि this is the rule and this is what you do. HR professional. I'll also say who you are in using application tracking system. I'll also give an example. system tools like Resi. I am also telling them what kind of tools. Resi is a tool, a website in which you can see use. So tools like Resi. So what it will do is that it will go understand what Resi is, what kind of algorithms Resi is using, and it will use it here only. So, and resumes and job description. No, sorry. I will share a job description here. Please go through it and identify the keywords based on ATS algorithms. This is the keyword. What I'll do is that I'll just, the job opening that I had downloaded and saved it in a file, I'll attach it. Okay, I'll just add, say, okay to proceed. So I'm asking them to assume a role. The role is of an HR professional. I'm also asking it to refer to an application tracking system tool. It will understand what an application tracking system is. I'm also referring them to a particular tool that like Resi to filter out resumes. And I can say that and of a JD. That also I'm giving here. Then I'm giving it a task. The task is I will share a job description here. Please go through it, identify the keywords based on ATS algorithms, say OK to proceed. And I'm just entering it. Now what it will do? It will go to the job opening, what the job opening is. It will try to understand. It has reviewed. It is saying that the job opening is for manager program design and implementation. What the person who has posted the job is looking for. So it's saying that would you like me to extract top ATS keyword based on scanners like Resi, soft skills, value-based keywords, etc. Would you like to use? Or should I focus on ATS keywords only? So keyword, I can say ATS only. Don't make it complex, keep it very simple. So it has identified. So it is saying that these are the things that the human resource person would aspire to be present in a resume. So all these details it is going on. So now ChatGPT is an expert in how to identify what exactly is a requirement for the human resource person who would be looking at this particular CV. Now I will say, now, first of all, I will upload my resume. The sample of for ATS, that is what I named this CV of Dheeraj Kumar. Now, help me edit my resume to reflect these keywords. Simple. Enter. So the resume that you normally will post to everybody, keep it with yourself. And now you have a particular job description optimized CV. This is the CV. So the keywords here, it is also mentioning it, highlighting it. That program design and implementation, it wanted education program coordination, content development, stakeholder engagement. It is mentioning all those keywords. It is also highlighting what keywords has been edited. Key skills have been edited, professional experience, whatever has been, to all the bold text that you see, it is all those keywords that will help them in getting that first level of screening done. So this is how you can have a particular uh, keyword related optimization done just using a chat GPT interface. I'll also show you alternate thing. So now when you have this, don't just literally shift it to a text like this. It won't look that good, but yeah, you can even this along with the picture here and a bit of formatting does the job. But I'll say uh, instead use a tool called Canva. Just go to canva.com, register for free. There are paid versions, paid options available, but there's most of these things are available for free. Use this. Take a screenshot if the download is not possible. That will also do the work. What you can say is that you can just go to the templates in Canva and you can say resume and just go through, and there are n number of resumes formats available. This all look good. So you can just select one and say customize this template. Do this, you will have a template in place. Delete this copy, paste your picture, then step by step, just go through each one. Just go to your keyword, copy your name, paste it here, and do the same with everything in here, and you are done. You have a professional looking CV. So I won't go with all the details, but Canva helps, and there are enough and more tutorials. So this is another one of the CV formats that I had opened, and what I did is that I didn't even download. I can just paste my CV here. So this is the CV, and then I can just select. For normally somebody who needs to take screenshot on a Windows laptop, it is Windows plus Shift plus S. Do this, and your screen will have a selection tool open. Select this, and you have a system that you can just copy and have a CV like this pasted somewhere. That is it. So the ATS aspect and how to practically use. Any questions on this for ChatGPT?
No questions. I don't see any questions.
Software, can we develop software like software? Develop, uh, can we develop software like, I didn't get the question, whatever this is. But if you can develop using that chat GPT, yes, it is very simple. It is free, everything. And Canva also, it is free. Instead of downloading, you can just take a screenshot. That will also work if it's not a paid version, full version. So hope this aspect is clear. So then I'll move on next to how to build each. Okay, I have half an hour only left. I'll just go a bit more quick now. So building each resume section, I'll just take you very simply through this professional summary, and there are certain AI prompts that will help. like professional summary, 3 to 4 lines, summarize. Use a prompt like you write a 3-line professional summary for a project coordinator. Project coordinator, instead of project coordinator, say the role and say for what it is being the role is required. And you will get an example like this. Key skills. Use a focus list, 6 to 8 skills. You can just share whatever you have made of your CV. List top 8 skills for the project. It will give it you something like this. Experience section, achievement outcome. Bit by bit, you can have everything from here, copy pasted, and you can have certain sections made. So now I'll share a demo of something that I personally like to use. That is called Resi. So Resi, what it does is I'll just look at a AI resume agent. Down, just Google Resi. Then there is a login. You can use your Gmail or anything to log in, and this comes up. Attach a resume, upload. So I'm uploading the sample ATS friendly pre-ATS one of Dheeraj Kumar. I'm attaching here. So here it says that I have received the resume. What exactly is doing, and what you want, you can just type in, it will help. But I would like to take it to a resume builder. Resume builder, you can just look at the job opening that you want this resume to be fit for. Job opening, I'll just open. It is asking for what exactly is the title of the job and what exactly is the description. Description, I'll give the entire thing. Paste it here. So मैंने अभी resume दे दिया and मैंने किस जिस नौकरी के लिए resume चाहिए वो दे दिया. Sorry, I have shared the resume here, and on the right side I have shared what is the job opening for which I need to tweak this, and I'll save the job opening. So it will take a moment. So now that what it is doing, it is identifying the AI keywords. Same जो मैंने अभी what the ChatGPT version what I did, I'm using Resi. So Resi is a bit more, since it is the actual algorithms and the deeper level of algorithms Resi has for one time, because mostly people will just use Resi for one time to edit your resume, key resume, and then maybe later on, second part, the easier aspects, you can use ChatGPT for free or use multiple email IDs to create. So it is taking a bit of time. So till that happens, somebody asked me, ki, one time you can use it, and then next time if you want to explore bit more or learn bit more about Resi, how to do it for the next. Okay, it has come up. So now it has rated my CV. It has gone through all the things and it is rating my CV, that my CV is 76% matching the keywords. I'll just say auto adjust kar do isko, and you can see the edits happening on the left side. Auto adjust करने के बाद now I have an excellent score of 93%. Simple, and I can download it here, or I can just copy paste from here. Okay, so this is another easier thing. Very good software Resi is. Here, another aspect that it will do is that point by point it will also mention that there are certain suggestions coming along with this. Okay, say it is saying that missing keywords, evidence based. That is something that you can add along with. If you want to add, just say yes, add. So analyzing, and on the here it is, see, adding another line. It is going through the CV and it created another experience part which mentions evidence based what exactly you have done. So it adds on lot of things, permutation, combinations. It goes up and down, and when you finally, it's not a free version. It's a paid version. It's not a paid version. Sorry. So there's a limitation to how much I can show. It will keep on coming up and down, but it would always be an excellent category. So this case to case, there are a lot more to be done. So it has started. It has dropped this particular rating. Again, all the suggestions started. It will add on to that particular number. So case to case basis or auto adjust, those options are available which you can use, and you can come up with something like this. So AI resume agent is something that you can use. AI builder within that resume agent is something that will give you more of the details. Lot more to be done, lot more you can explain. There are job search aspects available for the same. You can search more jobs, but some of these are professional things. Reviewing my resume is something that you can also do, but yeah, I'll suggest avoid it because this is taken. So now I'll say create a new resume or new chat, and it will ask me to upgrade. So that is a limitation. One or two times it will take. Next time it won't take. So here I'll just share for educational purpose, I'll share what normally I would like to do, because every time I am showing this to somebody, it's the limit. Then I can't use the ID anymore. So what I normally would like to do is that use something called temp mail. Temp mail is a website in which you will get a temporary email ID, as the name sounds. So assuming that my limit is over, I will log out from here. There is a sign in window that has come. I'll go to temp mail. Here, a temp mail has been generated for me. Let me just refresh. I'll just copy this. I'll go back to, I'll paste, I'll add a particular and sign in. I think it's the same email ID, that's why the error, but I'll change this. Or use any different site. There are multiple sites which gives the same thing. Create a new. Oh, sign up, create an account. Sorry, I was logging in instead of signing up. Login, and this is your new email. So here, the open temp mail that I used, you can see that an email has arrived in the temporary mail. Normally, it arrives in your regular mail. So here, the temporary mail has the code 268685. I'll use this and log in. So now I can build a new resume. So this is how you can, just for directing somebody, you can use it. Of course, somebody has created this, so unfair use is something that I don't encourage, but you can have this to guide somebody as a mentor. So I believe that Resi aspect is clear, and there are enough and more. Just I'll share lot of different options available to you as well, so that you can just go through it again. So now I'll just say pros and cons. I'll just quickly go through it. 10 minutes to go through that LinkedIn aspect. Pros and cons of using generative AI. So pros is it saves money, improves grammar and layout, optimizes for application tracking systems. The cons are that it's generic and impersonal. So whenever it happens, just use say impersonal. Sometimes a bit of error makes it, or a short sentence, simple English makes it better. Ensure that whenever something complex is written by AI, you just copy it, go back to ChatGPT, says simple English, short sentences, come back, paste it. Or just take it to some tool like Humanizer, AI Humanizer. You'll get a lot of things. Go to it and it will change it. I shared one of the examples of AI Humanizer yesterday while I shared one of the websites. You can use that and humanize it and come back. It's not always industry compliant, ignores profession specific formats and credentials. You need to check on it. That some organizations want their own, say you are applying for a United Nation job, it will ask you to type all the details. So just you need to ensure that it is the first the kind of prompts that you are giving. You should say that this is specifically aligned to ensure that is aligned to the UN formats. Then just copy it and line by line you ensure that what you are applying is for an international organization and needs to be checked, double checked and then updated. And bias and like plagiarism risks are always there, especially if it is a research kind of intervention. What you are adding on, you might the topic of the research would be something, and AI will say AI will assume it to be a general thing, and it will improve the title of the research paper. So you need exact title of the research paper to be shown in your credential, for example. So those are the risks that comes. So you need to double check always. So again, AI is for support, not substitution, that you need to ensure and review humanized outputs for credibility and individuality. So these are 12 AI powered tools that are part of your curriculum as well. I'm mentioning it here as well. Resi is one of them. Bottom fourth, you can see Resi. There are a lot of other things and what exactly each of them does, I have shared. I'm also sharing JobScan, Resi and Enhance CV as three that stand out with ATS optimization. Go through it, ask the students also to go through it. Those are the better deal. So now very quickly, what exactly is LinkedIn, everybody knows, so I won't take much time on it, but building a professional LinkedIn presence. So learning objective here is understand the anatomy of a strong LinkedIn profile, learn to write an engaging section, discover how AI can craft headlines, summaries, and posts. So key components here would be an ideal, very good example of a LinkedIn profile should have profile photos and banners. Headlines combining roles and impact focus areas. About section should tell the story and it should say of who I am, what I do, and why it matters. Specific. Say for me, it is I'm a development sector professional with a blend of so development sector and engineering, and I'm creating large scale initiatives for uh, develop say large scale initiatives where I blend industry, academia, and government to create projects. And I created to solve industry gaps that needs collaborative model of intervention. So something like this. Experience and achievements need to be mentioned. Skills, endorsements, engagements. Engagement is one aspect that you once you build, ensure that you are posting something in between so that it remains active, the presence is felt, and anybody who wants to refer to post reading your resume, wants to look at your LinkedIn profile, finds it very engaging. I'll just share one of my favorite say okay. Say Ankur Wariku, you know this person mostly. He's a YouTuber and a founder of something called Groupon. Uh, a good like YouTuber. It's a YouTuber. You can go through his real life lessons. Very good inputs you will get with his reels. So here it is. This what here reflects the real life guide for teenagers. This is the banner that he has created. He has an image, name. What he does is something that he has mentioned. How he does it and what exactly is that he impacts is written in his about section. Some post, what exactly he has done, it is all mentioned. Recommendation. So this is something that once you share with your students, some student would ask you to recommend that student, so that some industry person comes, visits his profile, like I am visiting Anku's profile, finds it very engaging, and take your reference as the base on which the candidate is selected. So these kind of recommendations are also mentioned. Publications that the person is going on, those aspects are mentioned. Honors and awards are mentioned. So here everything is there. No email ID or no number to call is mentioned. So there is a limit to how much personal, professional part of the personal data is something you can share, but not data through which the person can be contacted. And of course, somebody wants to message, there is a message profile that the person can use. So that is one of the key, some of the key components that makes a good LinkedIn profile. Suggested tools that you can use to make certain aspects. Resume optimization, I already shared ChatGPT Resi, and Kick Resume is also something that you can use to tweak the particular resumes. Editing Grammarly is something, or Quillbot, but again, you can just give a simple prompt that ensure that the grammar is right. ChatGPT will also do this. LinkedIn Analytics, Resume Word, and Skill Scanner, specifically those who would like to explore a bit more for them. These are analytics aspects that looks at profile benchmarking. Is it supposed to be industry set top benchmarking ratings synced? So this is not for a student, but for yourselves, if you are looking at and would like to explore a bit more, this is something you can use. And job trend research and LinkedIn Career Explorer, these are some aspects that you can explore. Again, for the jobs, it is very simple. Once a person creates uh, the profile, here I have my own profile also. So if I am looking at jobs for associate manager CSR, so here a lot of things will open up. Job, am I searching for job, posts, people, groups? What am I searching for? Just search for jobs. It will come up with all kind of jobs aligned to that particular. I can also here, apart from uh, specific things, I can also see the location in which I want. Say if I plan to shift to Bangalore tomorrow and I'm looking for something in Bangalore, I can just apply it, look for jobs, apply it. If I get it, I can shift to Bangalore. Simple as that. So those are the aspects I'm just within the limited time. I'll just very quickly take you through the same. And another query that came up is of remote jobs, that also within LinkedIn profile. And once somebody has a particular LinkedIn account, LinkedIn will do an analysis of that particular role, and most of the profiles being suggested would be something which is in sync with that person's requirement. It also will post jobs also here, so that also can be looked at. And these are the details of the job, and you can apply it from here also. So that is how basics of LinkedIn you can look at. There are a lot more things. If anything specific, we have 5 minutes left. If anything specific needs to be
10
seen,
minutes, 10 minutes are there. 10 minutes are there.
okay,
I think, yeah, according to my watch.
okay, good then. So here I'll say I'll just move on to how I normally use my LinkedIn. Once you have the LinkedIn basics set, say here what I am is, I have mentioned what is the background and what I do is mentioned. There are certain posts related to the activities that I do, what exactly has been my background journey, license and certain there are certain recommendations that I have given to people also, that also is mentioned. So normally what I do on a daily daily basis, what I do is that I'll just check if somebody has sent me a LinkedIn request, somebody has shared something with me. I'll just see if that person is aligned. Mostly just ensure that somebody who already has a mutual connection. Say this person has 30 mutual connections. So this is somebody who interacts with a lot of people within my group. So I can go through the detail, but I'll keep it private. This much is enough, I believe. I'll normally accept. I know this person. I'll accept the same. It also shows the kind of connections that I have, the followers or followings that I have, what I follow, what are the kind of groups that I am part of. And there are a lot of AI related groups if you want to dig deeper into. Uh, so just search for AI groups. It will show all these groups and you can search for something that you are aligned and join that particular group. You can also go through those, say something that I have joined. If I have some spare time, I would like to understand what has been the updates here. I can just go through the posting and update myself. So that is also one aspect that I normally do. And all the events that are upcoming that I would like to, and all this mostly it's coming from once you are part of groups, all the events being posted would be visible within these particular. I'm not taking you personally through each of these, but there are certain newsletters I can subscribe. All this would be visible here. I'll also look for jobs if I'm looking for a change. So what it does is that LinkedIn wonderfully does this work. So now LinkedIn understands what my position is. So it automatically, whenever I'm looking for a new job, it will just mention. So these are all jobs that is aligned to my profile right now. So I can see some good things. See, this is hybrid. So somebody who wanted to work for a remote job. So these kind of options are something that is available. I can go through the details if I want to. Otherwise, so how a student, you can guide a student is that once they create this particular profiles on LinkedIn, there is an auto suggestion in terms of the job applications that come up. The person can look at. There are messages I can uh, share. These are private, so I won't be going with this, but it's moreover like your WhatsApp thing only. And again, notification is something that is very critical because it helps me understand whosoever I am following. Say, if I just want to follow Ankur Warigu again. Oh, sorry, not looking at. And I want to ensure that whenever Ankur Warigu posts, I am made aware of what he is posting. So I just need to ensure that I click on the bell icon as you all use in YouTube, and ensure that I want to see all of their messages, most relevant of them, or I don't want to see anything coming from this person also. I can save it like this. So what happens is that on a daily basis, my inner circle, say 2,000, 20,000, whosoever people have. So if somebody has viewed my profile, it would be visible. Then basic whosoever, say the celebrities I am following, the good organizations that I'm looking at, that who's doing what, if they have posted something, somebody has a birthday, everything is available to me. So on a daily basis, I'll just wish people. If somebody is updated the details, I'll go with that. Then there is a business and learning aspect. So these are paid aspects. I'll say not for those person who are just job hunting, but these are things that you can, it comes on subscription, but LinkedIn Learning is something, it's an amazing platform if you are one of those learners who want to update yourself. It's a paid thing. Like LinkedIn Professional, you take and you will get a LinkedIn Learning ID free, and it comes with all kind of skill based opportunities. So if I want to, and these are micro skills as well. If I want to upgrade my skills on team management, I'll write something here, and here I have a 1 hour 80 minute course for managing teams. I do this, I will get a LinkedIn pointer and a LinkedIn certification that would be part of my CV. तो मेरा CV अपने आप update होता जाएगा. I have X
Yeah,
skills, Y
just
skills.
just want to add here that we at Future Skills Prime also have soft skills courses, and it's a free to register platform, and the courses, most of the courses are free. And just since you were mentioning that LinkedIn Learning is a paid platform, Future Skills Prime is a free to register platform, and we have the courses on soft skills which the faculty members can do, and if they get in touch with me, we can get it extended for their students also. I'll be happy to create a group of the students and assign them the courses so that they can easily access the courses and complete those courses.
Yes,
Just
wonderful, Kamna. I was complaining. Say, I normally what I do is that I'll share the expensive one, and then I will like Resi Mehenga hai, then ChatGPT. So now I was
yeah,
coming to that. Ki,
yeah.
now no need to do that, because something simple as future skills prime. What it does is that now these are the courses. Mostly what LinkedIn sort of platform will do is that it's moreover towards an international domain, and has learning coming from an international perspective. Specific to India is something that you need to cater to. And the pedagogy that is used, that is mostly suitable to Indian minds. Everything needs to be customized. So there's this website that you are already using, and we are all part of it. That is Future Skills Prime. It enables two things. One, you complete all these courses, and second, the kind of certificates you get for a paid account, and that is huge payment. Like this comes for a 25,000, 30,000 thing that you are getting for free. And those also, once it is done, the option always lies that you just write or start a post, mention that you have got upgraded yourself, and that also becomes part of your LinkedIn profile. So that is another value that is generated when systems like this, the free network, is used. Again, something that I always say, that most of the, if you have the intent to learn, most of the knowledge in the world, it's available for free. There are right platforms to it to enable that to happen. And of course, we are connected through one of those platforms. Thank you, Kamna. So I believe we are closing it bang on the time. So these are the some certain aspects. Any particular questions? If we have time, we can answer it.
There are 2 minutes left, so I'll urge the participants, if they have any question, this is the right time to catch Srijit. He's there for us. He's there to answer our queries, and a lot of information has been shared. I'm sure that you will not only use it yourself, but you will also be able to guide your students, because they'll be stepping out into the corporate world. They will all be making resumes. They will all be most of them will be looking for jobs. So this will come in very handy to actually impress your students. You can wow your students with all the information that Srijit has shared. And uh, because in today's time, I think it's very difficult to really impress the students. Uh, So I think we'll have some. If there are any questions, we would like to take. Yeah, there's still 1 minute left.
And LinkedIn is the new in thing that I'll just close saying that it's in future we can have a detailed course on the same. Like it's 2 hours of just focusing upon LinkedIn. There are so much, like now there is an AI tool that will help you, Kamna, to respond to each of the post comments with good sensible comments, and the comments also ensure that your presence is felt to the larger community that you want to target to. So
What
these
is
are,
that tool?
we'll go into detail. Yeah.
In the next
So
session.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
yes.
A
Sure,
lot
sure,
of
sure.
it, like if I just share the same, then you won't be able to use it much. It's a process through which
No, no, I
free
have
free
also
free में use
learnt
करने का process है. With that, I'll share it.
I
हाँ.
have learnt a lot from this session. I'm sure the participants have also learnt a lot. How can we use LinkedIn Premium as free? That is a question which has come in the last minute. I think I don't know if you want to take it or if it's possible.
Another response from my end, why I say again and again, use the free services as much as possible. Uh, there's a limit to, like, the return of investment is something that you need to look at. Here, what we are targeting is that how we can be better mentors to students. हमारा target
Yes.
audience is those who are, say, I still remember the pain I paid when I paid 300 rupees for my resume. You don't want your student to say this 20 years later, that I used X and X amount of student was money was spent. Please don't do that. Most
Right,
of
right. So
99% free software will do the same thing. It's 1 or 2% return of investment उतना बचा नहीं है.
right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, Srijit. It's been an excellent session, very informative. Lot of new things we have learned. Thank you for your time. And
Thank you
hopefully,
so
in the
much.
next sessions, we will catch you again with more information.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
I'll thank you so much. So I'll now move on to the next session, which we have planned for you all in this in today. Our upcoming session is Gen AI in robotics, gaming, and automation. And we have managed to get an international expert for you to talk to you and to take this lesson on robotics, gaming, and automation. We are very happy and pleased to welcome Mr. Pramod Dasan. He is joining us from Prague, from Czech Republic. He's head of the Department of AI and BI Solutions, IT Services, Post and Parcel Solutions, Germany. Just to give you a little introduction about Mr. Pramod Dasan, he is at the forefront of artificial intelligence and cloud data solutions at DHL IT Services. DHL is the logistics group, as you must be aware. His leadership has been pivotal in advancing the DHL product lines. And as Srijit was telling us to, we should quote numbers when we are talking. He has driven a 140% increase in revenue year over year. He has mapped strategic digitalization roadmaps, leading to significant cost reductions and enhanced business processes through digitized solutions. At the moment, his role encompasses steering cross functional teams across 4 countries, ensuring synchronized execution and high quality delivery. This collaborative spirit, coupled with expertise in data analytics and software as a service, has earned DHL a 98% positive rating in employee satisfaction and has established him as a key contributor to the digital evolution of logistics and supply chain services. Great to have you with us, Dr. Pramod Dasan. Welcome once again. I'm sure that the participants will gain a lot from your experience and insights in this domain of Gen AI in robotics, gaming, and automation. So over to you. Please take it. And participants, please engage and please, I urge you to ask your questions wherever you want, so that you can gain the maximum benefit from this session. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kamna. Thanks for having me here for this course. So definitely my session would be interactive. So I would be checking the Q&A part of the Zoom, and possibly we can have, I mean, we'll go through the sessions. It's split into it, and then I'll go through it. It'll be much interactive. It'll be more of videos as well coming in. So it's not a monologue, but I would encourage participants to ask more questions, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. Yeah. With that, I think I will share my screen. I hope everybody can see my screen.
Not yet. It's probably coming up. Something is coming. Yes, now we can see your screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch off the subtitles. Yeah. So actually, when Kamana asked me to take this, I was just wondering. I think she managed to connect the word robo, the place, and the session. So let me start off the session on the agenda very briefly. So we will have four parts of the agenda of the modules. The first part will talk about the rise of Gen AI in robotics, introduction to Gen AI with very specific applications to robotics, the integration of Gen AI and robotics, how it works, and then the applications of AI in robotics across all the fields. So maybe let me start off with a purpose statement. This AI and all this hype word which is going around the world. So why, or the purpose, why are we spending time to learn AI? So let me start off with a nice quote. It says that we passed through many revolutions, like industrial revolutions, where the manual labor was replaced by machines. Now there is a word which says that AI won't replace humans, but actually the humans who don't have AI skill set will be replaced by a person who knows AI. So that's one of the primary reason why everybody has to be educated, at least the know-how, what tools are available in AI to ensure his or her job is done at ease. And in my view, yeah, there are people who are born with a high IQ, high intelligence, but with AI coming in my view, the intelligence is normalized. Everybody will be intelligent, skilled human being to deliver a task. So that's my perception. With that, I will go into the agenda and the modules. So first part I would like to throw on this one is the rise of Gen AI in robotics shaping the future. So let me ask the participants, do you remember on my right hand side, there's a small robo image available. Do you recognize this image? Maybe if you can put a chat message, it will help me. Do you remember this picture? It's one of old Doordarshan series which used to be telecasted when I was a kid. It's called Giant Robo, the series from Japan, which used to be broadcasted long time ago. Um, so with that, I will go back because that was my first interaction on seeing as a child a robo and how it works. And it was a series at 26 episodes which was broadcasted. So now let me connect the word robo. Again, I will give a minute and I would like to understand the word robo. Do you know the origin and what does it mean to the participants? You can use a chat to type in, the word robo, where did it originate and what does it mean? Someone typing?
From Japan. Some Chandra
Okay.
is saying that the word came from Japan.
Okay. So anybody wants to take one more guess?
Please, the guess can be wrong also, but do guess. Let me encourage everyone to engage, even if it's a wrong answer. Pramod is here to help us with the right answer.
Okay, I'll give a clue where I come from. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, the word robo is originated from Czech Republic. So that's what when I connected, I was telling you guys when it originated. The word is called robota, which means forced labor. It's in Czech origin. It was first introduced in a play, right, by Carol in 1920, right? And after that, the word robot. So that's how it's a Czech. So most of the people will think because right now all the innovations are happening in Japan and around the world, but the Japan would be the forefront of the innovations. But unfortunately, the word robo came from robota, which is the Czech language origin roots. So with that, I will get into the session. Um, so generative AI, I think the last 2 days you have gone through various aspects of Gen AI. I'll be using the shorthand of Gen AI for generative AI. I'll use artificial intelligence as AI for algorithms, etc. for the rest of the presentations. So robotic design and prototyping. So basically we use Gen AI, which quickly generates the diverse design and options based on very specific parameters. It helps in driving the innovations and helps to overcome the concepts which is being hindered by a traditional method which may be overlooked. So that's how the Gen AI enhances the robotic design and prototyping. We will be looking at some of the applications, how it accelerates the innovations in the field of robotics through Gen AI. The second part is simulation and training. For an example, I'll be covering the same example at later point in the module as well. If you look at the self-driving car, um, which is being used in US by robo taxis and other companies are using it, how can you enhance the driving capability of a self-driving car? You need a simulation environment. In a traditional training environment, you would make the robo mounted on a car and you would be driving in all the terrains with all possible combinations. And the training, what it takes to learn through the data, it's laborious and it takes so much time. So that's how, if you look at it, the initial concept of self-driving cars came in through a traditional way of learning how to put that robo in the field and look at the real life scenarios and to pick up, let's say, a pedestrian crossing the road or let's say a sudden break in front of ongoing traffic or a sudden cross by a pedestrian as well. So it tried to simulate different environments so that the robo can learn in a standard chaotic environment. However, these are the traditional methods, and right now with Gen AI and Gen augmentation, it can enhance the training so that the robo can really able to come to existence or to drive an application very quickly. So we'll see that in detail in the upcoming slides. So with respect to the market, right? So how big is the market are we talking about? The robotic market is close about back in 2002. It's close about a 15.2 million US dollar market and is expected to grow almost 856 million or maybe close to a billion by 2032 with a compounded annual growth rate of 34%. So that's the rate at which um, the robotics and the innovations are coming in across all industry. So let's look at a simple interaction, how robots are used. So I will, since I'm from DHL, I would show you how robotics are used in a warehouse, and how it interacts with human beings to ease the work. So let me know if you can see the screen, and let me know if you can hear the volume. I mean,
The
I'll
audio
just
is
mute.
not there. The audio, you need to unmute it.
Okay.
Audio is not there. No, audio is still not there.
Audio is still not there. Okay, I think this is just let it be without audio because it's just music.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, this is a big warehouse, and you can see how robotics are playing a vital role interacting with humans on the pickers and packers. Typical warehouse is close about 100,000 square meter to 400,000 square meter. We have largest warehouse located in Bangalore, the second largest in India located in Bangalore. So where modernized robots are helping the humans for the movers and pickers and to ensure that the packets are packed and the supply chain works seamlessly. So this is a video just to showcase how humans and robots are interacting together and working and easing the workload of a human being. So let me switch back to the slide. Yeah. So in terms of the key players in robotics, to name a few, is OpenAI, which is delivering the Gen AI, one of the biggest names in the market right now. Boston Dynamics is a robot manufacturing company, which is on the forefront or the pioneers in making the modern robotics. NVIDIA, I think you all know the GPUs manufacturer, who drives or who is in the center of all the innovation space, who gives the hardware piece or the GPUs for the robots and the Gen AI to work. And of course, the Siemens, the German company, which is also doing the manufacturing for robotics. If you take Europe, and a lot more companies are also in Japan, which comes up in manufacturing the complete set of robots. Also, I would like to showcase here how BMW, which is, or you all know the car company, which has opened the first virtual factory in Hungary, close to Budapest, the first virtual factory through NVIDIA that shows how robotics, NVIDIA, and all the robotic are working seamlessly, and it's called Digital Twin. Again, a video to showcase the concept of how the major market players are working together and how they are delivering an application to build cars for BMW. So let me switch. This requires an audio. So Kamala, do you know how to put the audio into the presentation?
Yes, yes. I think you have to go in the video and click on video settings. Go on video settings. Um, Go on video settings and
Audio.
audio, system audio. Second. I knew it. When you share the video, it gives you an option, right?
Okay, let me try it.
When you share the video, it gives you an option system sound. You have to check that box.
Okay. I shared it, but it doesn't.
I've done it.
Okay, no worries. Let me see video settings.
No,
Is
no.
that
When you're sharing the video, it will ask you system sound on
okay? So share
video.
um, the screen to where I have the video. Oh, share sound. Yes, I have this. Yep. Thank you. Can you see my screen now? The video
Yes,
screen?
yes.
Okay.
The world's industries are accelerating digitalization with over $3.4 trillion being invested in the next 3 years. We at BMW strive to be leading edge in automotive digitalization. With NVIDIA Omniverse and AI, we set up new factories faster and produce more efficiently than ever. This results in significant savings for us. It all starts with planning, a complex process in which we need to connect many tools, datasets and specialists around the world. Traditionally, we are limited since data is managed separately in a variety of systems and tools. Today, we've changed all that. We are developing custom Omniverse applications to connect our existing tools, know-how and teams all in a unified view. Omniverse is cloud native and cloud agnostic, enabling teams to collaborate across our virtual factories from everywhere. I'm about to join a virtual planning session for Debrecen in Hungary, our new EV factory opening in 2025. Let's jump in.
Milan is joining.
Hello everyone.
Hi Milan, great to see you. We are in the middle of an optimization loop for the body shop. Would you like to see?
Thanks, I'm highly interested. And I'd like to invite a friend.
Sure.
Hey Milan, good to see you.
Jensen, welcome to our virtual planning session.
It's great to be here. What are we looking at?
This is our global planning team who are working on a robot cell in Debrecen's digital twin. Matthias, tell us what's happening.
So we've just learned the production concept requires some changes. We are now reconfiguring the layout to add a new robot into the cell.
Okay, but if we add a new robot on the logistics side, we'll need to move our storage container.
All right, let's get this new robot in.
That's perfect. But let's double check. Can we run the cell? Excellent.
Milan, this is just incredible. Virtual factory integration is essential for every industry. I'm so proud to see what our teams did together. Congratulations.
We are working globally to optimize locally. After planning, operations is king, and we've already started. To celebrate the launch of our virtual plant, I'd like to invite you to open the first digital factory with me.
I'd be honored. Let's do it.
Yeah, thanks for watching. So let me switch back to the screen. So here I just wanted to explain what a digital twin means. I think I'm hearing a echo, so I'm not sure. Okay, so digital twin means you simulate the entire factory, what you've seen on the production line of a BMW factory. You replicate it um, in a software world, and you can make changes. What you've seen in the video is if I need to add an additional robo, normally in a traditional approach, you need to look at the measurement and you need to see if everything is working fine, and it's a tedious process. Now you can do the simulation, entire simulation in a digital twin, and you can fine tune the overall layout of the factory, and that will ensure that whether the system design or the layout requires a massive change or not, and it helps to take um, um, corrective actions to put the new robos. So similarly, you have this digital twin concept across all uh, kind of industries, you can name it. You can replicate the exact digital twin on the from a hardware world, from an entire physical world to a virtual world. It's called digital twin. So that's one of the terminology which I want you to understand. Now let's look at market segmentation. From a robotic perspective, you require hardware which has, for example, robotic arm. It requires a steel, or depending upon the industry, you might require special material to make that robo hardware. You might require a services part, and also the software to run. So these are the three important components which build a robo. And also, when you look at based on technology, you have, for example, here the manufacturing industry. We have seen logistics, for example, in DHL, how we use it for pickers and packers in warehouse. Similarly, you have it in healthcare and services, and you will cover the detailed application um, on module 4, how robotics are used. The important is the key highlights. The market, as you see, the growth factor from $15.2 million to $856 million by 2032, you can see the increase in the robotic industry. It is also accelerated through the various IT providers like Microsoft, Nvidia, OpenAI, which brings up new and new algorithms and softwares and provide key elements, which is accelerating the journey as well. So that's in a nutshell on the first module of the robotics and what Gen AI and all the market players involved in the robotic industry. Um, so with that, I'll open for a short question. If you guys have anything, we can have a quick questions, and if not, we can go through the next
No question.
module.
Yeah, no questions as of now. I can't see any questions.
Okay,
But
thanks.
I'll urge the. I just have a question. I have a question. So this virtual factory, it's just for the design stage, because what is the product that a virtual factory will produce?
No, it's actually both design and ongoing. So you can simulate the entire factory first on the digital twin. So you connect first as part of it, you design a factory, you build it virtually, and then you put a physical part of it in a factory. So what you've seen is the Omniverse is they have built a factory, and you can replicate an existing factory into a digital twin. You can do both ways. So in a standard approach for constructing a building, you have a plan and you construct a building. So that's a standard process. Suppose if you already have a building, you can create a digital twin as well. So it's bi-directional.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So now let's look at the generative AI. Here, we will talk about what AI means. We try to clarify some of the jargons, what it is used in terms of people are talking about GPT 3.5, Dale 4, and GPT 5 mini. What is actually what it means? And let's say you have a subscription based, for example, Perplexity is coming up within for Indian users. Perplexity on the mobile phones is free for 12 months. I think it's part of the common browser also enabled. It's born in India. It's challenging Google Chrome, for instance, and see how it works. So let's understand the very basic concept how Gen AI works and what it actually means. Before that, I would like to understand or clarify the term called neural networks. What is so normally Gen AI is refers to a trained neural networks, and what actually neural network means is the way how our brain thinks and processes the natural language. The algorithm is kind of broadly defined as neural networks that is moved from a, let's say, physical environment to a virtual environment. For a computer to work on a certain things, it only understands on and off, and it requires a programming of a human brain to move from a physical world to a virtual world. So let's see how generative AI works in this video. It's a 5-minute video, but you can understand what tokens and what the entire terminology means.
Meet Emma, a graphic designer working on a new project. One day, her colleague mentions a tool that helps create designs, images, and text using AI. Intrigued, Emma wonders how AI can create something from scratch. Her curiosity grows, and she decides to dive deeper into this new technology called generative AI. Generative AI refers to a type of artificial intelligence designed to create new content, such as text, images, music, and videos. Unlike traditional AI, which analyzes or categorizes data, generative AI produces original content based on patterns learned from vast datasets. Essentially, it generates new, unique material. These models are often trained on large amounts of data and use sophisticated algorithms to mimic human creativity. Tools like ChatGPT or DALL-E can create art, write essays, or simulate conversations by generating outputs based on user prompts. Generative AI has a wide range of applications. Content creation. Tools like GPT-4 generate text, blog posts, stories, and essays from simple prompts. Art and design. AI models such as DALL-E generates unique images and designs based on text descriptions, transforming creativity in art. Music and audio. AI can compose music or replicate voices, offering new possibilities for musicians and audio engineers. Healthcare. Generative AI simulates disease progression or creates synthetic medical data, helping doctors gain faster insights for research. Let's take image generation as an example to explain how generative AI works. Data collection and learning. AI models like DALL-E are trained on large datasets of images paired with text descriptions. These datasets teach the model to recognize different objects, colors, styles, and how to associate text with corresponding images. The more data the AI learns from, the better it can generate accurate and diverse images based on user prompts. Neural networks and transformers. When Emma inputs a prompt like a cat wearing sunglasses, the transformer model processes the text, recognizing words like cat and sunglasses, and links them to images it learned from during training. Transformers help the AI decide how to combine these elements into a coherent image. Tokens and context. The text input, such as a cat wearing sunglasses, is split into smaller parts called tokens. The AI processes each token and understands their relationship. For instance, it knows the sunglasses should be placed on the cat, creating a contextually accurate image. Feedback mechanism. Generative AI models improve through feedback. After generating an image, users provide feedback on the accuracy or quality of the output. If Emma's generated image shows the sunglasses floating beside the cat, she can mark it as incorrect. The model uses this feedback to improve future image generations. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning further enhances the AI's ability. The model is rewarded when it generates accurate images and corrected when it makes mistakes. For example, when Emma describes a sunset and the AI produces a vibrant sunset image, it receives positive reinforcement. Over time, this method refines the model's ability to generate better images. Data science and AI models. Data scientists curate the training data and define the parameters that help the AI generate accurate images. The more varied the dataset, the more versatile the AI becomes in generating diverse types of content. Advanced models use billions of parameters, which are settings that guide the AI in processing data and generating outputs. Generating original content. Once trained, the model can generate original images. For example, Emma might describe a futuristic cityscape, and the AI would produce a unique image based on what it learned. The generated image isn't just a copy of past data, but an entirely new creation, showcasing the AI's ability to combine learned patterns and creativity. Now let's have a quick fun quiz on what we have learned so far. What does generative AI primarily do? A. Analyze data. B. Generate new content. C. Store data. Make sure to let us know your answer in the comment section below
for a chance to win an Amazon voucher.
Yeah. So maybe let me go back to that question. So what does generative AI primarily do? So maybe you can type your answers in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't give you the Amazon vouchers. It's from this quiz.
Please, participants, please put your answers in the chat box. Let's give them a minute to reply.
Sure.
The answers are coming in. Dipti is saying it's generate new content. Dipti Arora. Tanga Balaji Amutan is saying generate new content.
Yeah, maybe I'll give one more minute. I hope I see 16 participants.
Yes,
all three.
yes. All three. Satish
Yeah,
is saying all three.
Yeah, primarily do. That's the key word.
Okay.
So that's a tricky part, right? What does generative AI primarily do?
Subha is saying generate new content. Sankeshwari is saying B, which is generate new content.
I think most of them.
Yeah, you can please share the right answer now.
Yeah, so it's B, generate new content. But going back to Satish, who answered all three, is if you want to explain Gen AI, it looks at the stored data, analyze the data, and using the prompt, it generates the new content. So that's a full perspective of what Gen AI is doing, but the keyword is primary do. So it generates new content, but is using the historical feedback loop, reinforced learnings, based on the prompts, what you've seen in the last 5 minutes. So if you want to explain Gen AI, you have to look at all the three, but primarily it generates new content based upon your prompts. Thanks, participants. Thanks. So let's look at, I hope you can see my screen. I'm on slide 10.
Yes, we are able to see your screen. You can, yeah.
So here, when I started off the presentation, so there is a primary ask is like introducing machines. Will it lose employment? Or for example, using Gen AI, what is the impact of employment? So they say, or it's a myth buster, I would say. Generative AI possesses risk of replacing jobs, let's say lawyers, blog writings, contract creations, coders, etc. But in fact, it's the other way around, in my view. So all the people who are getting, if you see the news, all people who are getting redundant are being replaced by the person who can use AI, in my view. And by using, let's say, AI in your day-to-day aspects, you increase your productivity. The monotonous task is being replaced. So that's one of the primary reason why you require an upskill to be done as well. So again, let's go back to the first quote. AI is not going to replace you. A person without AI is being replaced by a person who knows AI, because you can employ one person who can do five people's jobs through AI. Again, there are various phases of AI which is upcoming. Right now, we are they call in a phase called failure. Like you have .com boom, then you have this AI phase, where people mostly call it as a failure phase, because most of the companies who are investing in AI, uh, planning to use the application, doesn't see the expected additional revenue growth. They're able to do cost cutting or cost avoidance, but they're not able to generate the revenue, because investing in AI costs money and it's expensive as well. So in comparison to the cost avoidance and cost savings, they don't see additional revenue growth. So that's why it is termed as a failure stage now in some of the articles. But there is a revival of Gen AI which will happen in due course. So it has also been addressed in some of the Gartner presentations as well. Like there are different stages of um, AI buzzword. And also, if you look at, let's say, at least in Europe or in Japan, I would exclude China and India because we have um, the prime youth age group on the working population, while Japan and Europe, the aging population is increased, which means that there are a lot of senior citizens in the country, and they're unable to replenish them because of the negative birth rate. So robots play a vital role in their day-to-day activity. For example, warehouses are being automated. The tellers, the cash tellers in the supermarket are being automated. There are self-service checkouts available now. If you go or visit any European grocery stores, we have to pick and we have to scan and do it. There are robots which are delivering your food as well. So in this video, I want to show a robotic kitchen, how Michelin star recipes is made repetitively by this robotic kitchen. And this is not going to replace, let's say, in a populous country, the robotic kitchen with the normal chef with a robotic kitchen. But in places like Japan or in Europe, there's an option of employing robotics, and you can cook and serve it in a consistent way. So it's a short video for 3 minutes. Let me quickly show you that part as well, how robotics is used in the cooking part. I hope you can see the screen.
Yes.
As robotics-obsessed engineers, we set out to create a new, efficient way of cooking food. Our wok is cooked by constantly tumbling your food, which provides a really nice and even sear. They're heated with induction, and we have temperature control to perfectly cook your meal every time.
From our humble starts in our fraternity basement, we developed a prototype that really sort of proved we could build something that can create delicious, high-quality meals.
I needed to come to Boston. I discovered that the robotic kitchen bring precision, consistency, taste, and also freshness to the preparation.
Let me switch back. Um, yeah, so that's how Robo is preparing your food at a Michelin standard. It's repeatable process. It can be consistent, and you can enjoy the Michelin star chef cuisine at your local store if they employ this cooking robo. So this is another example of the industry where it is making change um, on the food industry as well. So now let's look at generative AI in robotics. So I want to introduce a jargon called generative augmentation, GenAug in a shortened form, um, and how it is enhancing the traditional robotic capabilities, how it is used to train using gen augmentation. Just a minute. An issue with the mouse. I hope you can see my screen now. Okay. So what is gen augmentation? So gen augmentation, it helps to train the robo. As you've seen how Gen AI works is you collect the data, you store it, you analyze it. But gen augmentation is a technique how you would learn through augmented images. Uh, in the example of a self-driving car, you literally no need to mount the robo on a car and drive in all possible scenarios, but rather you collect the photographs of driving through the camera, and this data is collected across the world at one shot, and it is used for learning experience through the reinforcement learning. So that's an example of a gen aug re, learning through augmentation images. In the traditional training methods, they have limitations to adapt into the real world. For example, if you take a car and if you drive on an empty, let's say on a test circuit, there is no interaction with the physical environment. So let's say a person crossing the road all of a sudden, or a bicycle coming in, or a cow in the middle of the road. You don't foresee this situations in a standard conditions of a in a test circuit. However, through argument images, so what if an animal comes in the middle of the road? What should we do? Or a pedestrian comes running across the street, what how the car should behave, that can be trained through augmented images. That approach is called as a gen arg. It's a way of learning stuff and helps to enhance the training and simulations Thereby, the training of the robots is easier, and you can literally enhance the robo learning process in the physical world, and you don't need to use a lot of coding or let's say data to train this robo into a physical environment. So that enhances the learning through simulations. One of the thing is image augmentation techniques, where, for example, I'll show you a video how the shape of the object is picked up, the number of shapes is picking up through a distraction of objects, let's say in the background or within the workspace, how the robot able to learn and able to adapt to a change in the environment. It's demonstrated in a video in a minute, but the concept here is what is GenAug, how it is used to train the robo is a key concept here to understand. So evaluation of GenAug, for example, in the augment data set, let's say you have 1000 images to be created in each task. And what happens is in the performance evaluation, it's like, did you see the image? What did you learn? And how do you react to an environment? So that's how the reinforced learning happens. We will see that in a video, in a short video in a minute. So that's how the data sets is trained. That's how most of, for example, Tesla cars or any self-driving cars, they try to collect the data from the driving hours by the various drivers across various geolocations. And that data is used for reinforcement learning for the self-driving capability, because when you collect data from different, let's say, different personas of a driver who's driving on a highway, who's driving on a crowded street, who's driving at night, who's driving in a rainy road, who's driving on a snow. So this data is collected and it is fed back into the software so that it can learn very quickly and adapt. So that's an example of a gen augmentation reinforced learning. With that, I will switch back to this uh, video on the gen augment part. Just give me a second.
Generative AI is a new breed of artificial intelligence that's designed to learn and create new things on its own. It has the ability to produce art, music, and even writing that can mimic human creativity.
So generative AI refers to a type of AI model that automates the creation of content.
Most of AI in the last couple of decades has been about analyzing existing data that includes predicting likelihood of failures in systems, detecting frauds, recommending items for purchase, or goal image search that returns similar image. Generative AI is very different as it allows you to create new content. Generative AI models use complex algorithms and deep learning techniques to analyze and learn from large data sets in order to create new and original content. These models are trained on a vast amount of data and then use that knowledge to create new content that is similar to what they have learned. Generally, the content generated by generative AI is very similar to the data that they have been trained on. To bring variety in training data and regenerate targeting behaviors to unseen situations, generative augmentation is generally used. Generative augmentation is a technique in machine learning that involves generating synthetic or artificial data to augment existing training data. This is done to improve the performance of machine learning model by increasing the size and diversity of the training dataset, which can help further improve the accuracy and robustness of the model. Generative augmentation can be achieved through various methods such as generative adversarial networks, variational autoencoders, and other deep learning models that generate new data based on the pattern characteristics of the existing data. By doing this, the generated data can be used to supplement the existing dataset, providing a wide range of examples for the model to learn from. For example, in image classification, generated augmentation can be used to create new images that are similar to the existing images but with variation in lighting, angle, or background. This can help the model to learn to recognize objects under different conditions, leading to better performance when faced with real-world problems. Robot learning methods and generative augmentation are the two important techniques in the field of robotics and machine learning. While they are separate techniques, they can be used together to create more robust and effective robots. We have already learned about generative augmentation, Let's look at robot learning methods and what they are. Robot learning methods involves teaching robots to learn and adapt to new situations and environments using various types of machine learning techniques such as supervised learning, reinforcement learning, and deep learning. These techniques allow robots to learn from their experience, make decisions, and interact with their environment in a more intelligent and autonomous way. In robotics, generative augmentation can be used to create synthetic data that represents new and unseen situations or environments, which can then be used to train deep learning models. This can help robots to learn to adapt to new and unseen situations and environments, making them more effective and versatile in a wider range of tasks. For example, in robot navigation, generative augmentation can be used to create synthetic data that represents new and diverse environments, such as different layouts, obstacles, and lighting conditions. This can help robot learning methods to learn to navigate in a more robust and generalized way, improving their performance in a real world situation. For robot learning to generalize, we must be able to leverage sources of data or priors beyond robots' own experience. Recently, Facebook released GenAug, a model for generative augmentation for real-world data collection. GenAug are image text generation models, which are pre-trained on large corpus of web scrape data. They show that despite these generative models are being trained on largely non-robotic data, they can serve as an effective way to impart priors into the process of robot learning in a way that enables widespread generalization. In particular, they show how pre-trained generative models can serve as an effective tool for semantically meaningful data augmentation. Let's hear from them how this model actually works.
Current robot imitation learning systems often require humans to provide demonstrations. While this method may succeed in environments that are similar to the training set, they often fail in environments that are far from training distribution. Our system GenAug closes this gap by automatically generating a large and diverse set of training data using text-to-image generative models. Given a demonstration on one simple environment, GenAug can automatically change the texture of the objects in the scene, change the object classes, change the table and background appearance, and add distractor objects. So starting from the initial single environments, we can automatically generate a much larger and more diverse dataset. Here we show more visualizations. We use a 6-DoF XMR robot with a vacuum gripper mounted on the large table with an Intel RealSense camera mounted on the tripod. Given a few demonstrations of a behavior in a simple environment and the associated text prompt, our goal is to transfer this behavior to any unknown scenes. To do this, the user generates a small dataset by specifying pick and place locations. These 2D locations are projected to the 3D points in the robot coordinates using calibrated depth maps. We then apply GenAug to create a large and diverse dataset and train a language-guided imitation learning model. Here we show our real-world experiments. By training on the dataset extrapolated from only 10 demonstrations in the simple environment on the left, the robot is able to solve the task in entirely different environments on the right. Here we show another example with a new training object pair. Note that the demonstrations were collected in a relatively simpler scene. The right shows zero-shot transfer to complex scenes with dense clutter. Our system can also generalize to unseen object categories. This implies that agents with behaviors demonstrated with one set of objects can now transfer to other unseen compatible objects. Here we show more real-world results.
Okay. I'll just shift back. So the video just shows what we talked about the Gen AI capability, and how it is just picking and putting a mouse into an environment, and how different images are used to train the robo in a different environments, and how it can quickly learn and able to deploy that robo on a different environment and able to customize for a different aspects of customers. So I've explained this in an analogy of a self-driving car, but that's what gen augmentation means. So the concept, I hope you understand that how the traditional training of robo, now we are using generated augmentation to train and feedback the robo. So that's the concept which I would love that you guys understood on the module 2. So before we move on to the next part, I would like to check if there's any questions or any terminologies very quickly in the chat window.
We do not have any new questions. I think the video was quite clear.
Okay,
Uh,
thank
if,
you.
if there's any questions, urge the participants, please ask your questions now and please put it in question box or chat box. Thank you.
Okay, let me move to module 3. Integration of generative AI and robotics. So here, let me introduce to two, uh, again, jargons here, which you would foresee. The integration of generative AI and robotics is an evolving topic. You can see these buzzwords called agentic AI and embodied AI agents, for example, depending upon the context, what you talk about. For example, Tesla has this humanoid, which is like um, the human robo, which is able to do task. They're training it. And then you have Meta AI research talked about the embodied AI agents. And if you talk about with the other software firms, they talk about agentic AI. From Gen AI, we are moving to agentic AI. So agent is nothing but an automating a workflow using AI through LLMs or through Gen AI or through prompt engineering, which can solve a problem. Let's say, for example, and in the previous session, Srijit was mentioning about LinkedIn resumes, how can you override? But an agent AI recruiter can automate the process of looking at a job description, from the job description, understand the requirement, and then search in Naukri or in LinkedIn, shortlist the profiles, schedule the interviews with the technical panel, or in some cases, it can screen the candidate through some short interview questions, and the agentic AI recruit will able to check whether the person fits for a job or not before moving to the next stage. There are a lot of companies which are trying out this recruitment through AI. So this is called as agentic AI. So to understand this jargon, if you come across the word agent AI or agentic AI, that's a concept in a nutshell where you automate a process in a function or a domain using an AI, uh, can be called an agent AI. And lot of back offices back in India, the BPOs, they are looking at agents being deployed. So a particular task can be replaced by the agents and in conjunction with a human person who can do the job. So this is a transformation in the BPO space which is happening through agentic AI. But again, the cost of developing agents to replace, let's say, a cheap labor in the BPO industry, that comes into a picture or in a business case evaluation. But let's understand the technology here is we have RPAs previously, the robotic process automation. Now we are bringing in agent AI to enhance the RPA capabilities to do a particular job in a particular process in a domain. So that's called as an agent AI, or you can call the research focus is embodied AI agents. Uh, so again, here we have seen self-driving cars. Let's say in a warehouse, if you want to carry heavy, let's say, baggages in a warehouse, you can use humanoid robots who can be able to do a particular job. Um, in upcoming applications, you can see, let's say, for example, if you want to work on a high voltage line, you can use robotics to repair the high voltage transmission lines at any point in time, day or night. This humanoid or robo can help to fix the power line interruptions. So we talk about various applications within the humanoids part of it. Terminator is a so what we've seen in the movie Terminator, it's becoming real life scenarios, especially in Japan. If you can see, you can hire even robo for doing domestic help job as well. Um, so what are the challenges in robotics is the current AI generative methods faces some limitations in robotic applications. This called as Moravec's paradox, which is the sensory motor skills. That's why you can see in the Gen argumentation where they try to replace the conditions, let's say picking up an object, putting it into a basket, or instead of a basket, putting it onto a plate. So because we're training the machine to learn and understand and adapt to a different environment. So that particular piece requires further study, further research. So in the current limitation of computational resources, the sensory motors and perception skills are a backlog in the robotic field at this point in time. I hope it will be resolved in the near future, but this is one part of, let's say, the backlog in the robotic sector is. Um, so again, for example, Meta has built something called artificial visual cortex to mimic human visual processing. In Azure, you have the CompuVision, which can look at pictures or scan the images and find out what is a possibility, the content inside a parcel or a packet. And then it helps to learn and enable the robots to learn other human-like characteristics such as motor skills, perception skills, sensories. So these are all the added features which they eventually want to bring into the robotic capability. Ego 4D dataset, again, it's a jargon. For example, Meta compiled this dataset which has 3,670 hours of human performing tasks they record, and then they try to do reinforcement learning back to the robot so that you can understand the various sensory motor skills and perception skills to bring in. And if you look at Boston Dynamics, they're also looking at robots for practical applications. For example, in case of any nuclear reactor where you need to go and fix stuff, you cannot employ a human being to go and fix. In that particular case, the robotics can be used to look at the issue and fix it. So these are all some of the practical applications of AI robots which are there. We will do a deep dive in module 4 on how robotics are used in the various industry, and we can go through that. One important thing here is about data privacy. I'm sure that in the following topics, you will be having a deep dive. So for example, various countries are applying, for example, in Europe, we have this Data Privacy Act called GDPR, where any personal information has to be ensured it is protected and it is tokenized and it is anonymized. So you cannot just leak this data out to a hacker or to any other thing. And if you want to employ, let's say, automate a particular workflow, then you need to go and request a workers' council approval, the labor, for example, labor union approval to do a particular job so that the labor is protected in Europe at least. And there are potential risks. For example, in Japan, they were trying to build a robo for armed forces. So in this particular case, the experiment went wrong and the robo started firing live ammunitions to the creator, to the humans, and they have to seal the facility so that it doesn't overrun. So some of the risks are also involved in the areas where we apply robots as well. And during the design to a development phase, there are potential risk also available associated with it. So we just need to be mindful of that. And also business model considerations. Let's say in a socioeconomic factor, bringing in a self-driving car into India, it's a no-go because we have a lot of human capital, and bringing in a self-driving car in a risky environment and will have one risk to human life. Number two, it will create social inequality. People are getting redundant because of introducing the new technology into the workforce. So there are socioeconomic, let's say, pestle analysis needs to be considered before we employ this technology into a particular country or a sector. So that has to be mindful of in the hands of the decision makers. So that's a business model consideration one needs to look into account as well. I think we talked about the privacy-centric competitors. So the robotic market is growing. This is one of the things like Tesla, Optimus Robo is one of the things which is being considered. He's also working on the neural chip as well, where he promises to put the chip inside the brain, creating superhumans. But right now it is stopped, and it has been only given for people who are differently abled or challenged to use this chip. So these are all some of the things that there are potential risk at this point in time. People are flagging when we go or more depend on robots. So that's the part of module 3 we conclude in terms of data privacy, socio-economic considerations, privacies, and where we can employ robots. So now I would like to check if there are any questions in terms of module 3 before we go for applications in AI robotics.
Yeah, I think there is one question from Miss Sankeshwari K. Her question is, can you please tell how generative AI is helpful for agricultural domain? This question is not part of this session. There will be another session for this because this session is focused on robotics, gaming, and automation. I am not sure if Dr. Pramod would like to take this question.
Yeah, I can answer it as well.
Okay, please
Agriculture,
go ahead.
yes. For example, I mean, a live example I can talk about is UK soldiers used to monitor, let's say, fields based upon images from remote sensing. Um, so number one is you can use the images on the field and understand from the images what crop is being cultivated. So there is mobile data center where the UK soldiers used to carry, analyze the images from the remote sensing applications from the satellites, and they used to look at or monitor Afghan agriculturists whether they're growing poppies or what they're actually growing. So that's an application of how Gen AI is used in gen augmentation on agriculture. Let's look at, for example, India, for example, looking at, let's say, if you have a high computational power with the things are changing in terms of climatic conditions, You will be able to understand what kind of crops to be grown, what kind of let's say fertilizers to be used to impact migrations of, let's say, pest that will impact the production. So there are various applications are involved. As I mentioned, I mean, as Kamna mentioned, I think there's a deep dive involved. But an example of agriculture is you can use, let's say, drones. I mean, I'm not showed in the video here, but people use drones for, to example, to monitor which part of the agriculture field which is not having proper irrigations. For example, using images, you can look at what possible pest can infest into the let's say into the agriculture and take corrective actions. So some of the applications are involved in agriculture. I hope it answered.
Thank you for that. I think that's all the question we had. You can move ahead, and Sankeshwari is also saying thank you. Yes.
Okay, so now let's look at robotics. I think this one I've showed in module one, how AI and robotics are changing the ecosystem in various industries. So just to give some data around it, is nearly about 3 million industrial robots are currently enhancing various sectors across globally. AI helps to create intelligent environments for better automations, and it also helps to increase the efficiencies of robo. As I mentioned, for example, if you go to Microsoft Azure, there is a computer vision which enables to look at images, learn, and able to let's say predict what am I holding in terms of let's say screening. Let's say let's say an application would be like if a person is carrying a bag, looking at various things, the system was able to predict what is the content inside a bag or possible content inside a bag, especially in security areas. So that's an example of a computer vision applications. It also helps in intelligent programming. Right now we use let's say Gen AI or a Copilot, GitHub Copilot, where you can even you can replace programmers, or you can enhance the productivity of programmers using GitHub Copilot. If you want to analyze an existing piece of code in a traditional IT world, you need a person, a senior person to come and analyze the code. That would take 2 to 3 days, understand various impact assessment, and in order to make a change, it would take roughly about 8 to 10 man days to do a particular impact assessment in a standard scenario. But with a GitHub Copilot, in let's say in a particular language, the entire impact assessment can be done within 15 to 10, 20 minutes. I've seen this in a real life example where we used an expensive senior contractors in doing impact assessment and a fresher out of the college, giving him a technology of GitHub Copilot and then asking him to do the same job. The person who's fresh out of the college, trained on GitHub Copilot, was able to do it very quickly. So that's intelligent programming, and there are tools coming up on board that will able to enhance the programmer's life, testing, quality controls. Not many bugs are introduced because of the intelligent programming. So these are some of the applications you can see. As I mentioned, the growth is close about 37 to 38%, which is the compounded annual growth rate. It's estimated or forecast about 35.5 billion by 2026. So that's the market growth overall. In terms of key use cases where AI robotics are used, I think I covered agriculture, I covered manufacturing, for example, BMW factory where you apply digital twin, you have robotics able to manufacture end to end, which means that zero touch, which means that your car is manufactured with absolute zero touch from the human beings. End to end is delivered by the robots. In terms of healthcare, you see applications like, for example, robotic surgeries are becoming prevalent in India. There are simulations for new drug delivery, life sciences where robots are employed. So that's also an application in healthcare. Transportation, for example, here there are companies which they are looking at is um, in the transportation sector, driverless trucks which can deliver goods and shipments from point A to point B, so that you can minimize road accidents and you can deliver around the clock where the human capital is at scarce, right? The other part is smart home applications, where we have seen from robotic kitchens, from robotic chef to appliances on smart, for example, at home, which can cook a meal for you. There are robotic vacuum cleaners, which is also available. I think recently I saw from IFP, which can mop and clean. Then you have the smart homes integration, where you can monitor entire end-to-end home appliances through your mobile phones. So some of the smart home applications you can see. In aerospace, yeah, people are looking at instead of sending human beings into the aerospace or exploring Mars or Moon, instead robotics can be used to explore aerospace. Uh, one, it helps us to reduce the risk because we have a human expectancy of, like, let's say 60 to 70 years, and if you want to do a deep space explorations, then robotics are used. Um, Moving back to the question, AI in agriculture, robo also enhances the process efficiency and increases the yield. It also used for picking, crop harvesting, and weeding. I always wondered in Europe, because normally in India, agricultural fields are irrigated time to time, and mostly humans I've seen in working in the fields. But in Europe, when I see here, within a combined harvester, there are a lot of machines are involved, and I don't see. I mean, they are also there's a concept called Galileo satellites, which provides informations to the agricultural persons here, the farmers here, to ensure that what kind of crop should be put for a particular season. Let's say this summer it was quite wet, and people were harvesting corn and other food products. So traditionally they used to use rapeseed for oils, but now this time they changed. They do crop rotations, and they will able to simulate the climatic conditions for the upcoming summer, and they are helping farmers to grow appropriate crops as well. So that's an example here, AI in agriculture. Robotic picking, I think I've shown you the video in the DSL warehouse where robots are used for picking and packing stuff, end-to-end process. So that's an example where robots are used for picking and packing. Nuclear waste management. I've talked about how AI robots are used for safety cleaning in the nuclear waste. And let's say if they want to decommission a nuclear facility, for example, in Europe, a lot of nuclear facilities are being closed. So they use robots for managing this. AI in healthcare, I've already said about robotic surgical procedures, assisted patient care. Example is Trudy disinfects hospital areas using UV light. During COVID season, you can see how a disinfection is a key important step to prevent any infections. So AI transportation, I've already seen self-driving cars, cruise automate the transportations, for example. I also covered about the smart home applications here as well. For example, Amazon have Astrobot, which acts as a virtual assistant and security monitoring as well. So these are all some of the applications on the AI and robo on the various sectors. So I would like to touch upon a high level concept of responsible AI. So one important thing is when you apply Gen AI robotics, there is something called fair in the game. So fairness and bias, you have to prevent it, especially when you talk about Europe or outside India. And when you apply or change processes, you need to explain the transparency and explain to the person who's impacted. Ethical governance is one of the key aspects. Again, depends upon the geography location which we are talking about. that has to be considered when you apply robots in applications or in any particular sector. So that's called responsible AI. I think there's a deep dive session which will happen in the near future as well. Um, so with that, my concluding statements for this session is robotics will be used. You cannot stop AI or robo coming into your life. So you need to use this technology, increase your efficiency in shaping up tomorrow together. And we need to harness AI very responsibly, and we need to foster collaboration. So there is a day where the Terminator movie will come true. So that we need to be prepared, and we need to ensure that we are responsible and we have a safe environment to operate this. With that, I would conclude my session. And if there's any question, I would like to pick it up.
Yes, I think I will. It's a very, very informative session, especially with all the videos that you showed with what technology is doing. It was an eye-opening session, if I may say. And I'll request the participants to share any questions or comments if they have. Truly eye-opening session with the advancements in robotics which we are seeing, and not just in the traditional, warehousing space or agriculture, but in restaurant business, uh, and virtual manufacturing of like the BMW facility. Amazing, very, very informative session. Those are the comments which are coming in. Very, really, very informative session, Dr. Buddy is saying. And Nagul Sharif Sheikh is saying, nice session, sir. I will just see. Sonali Kharade is also saying, yes, it's a really very informative session. Today, there are many new things we got to know. So, thank you so much for bringing all this knowledge to our participants. Satish is saying, thank you, sir.
Like, there's one more question. Is there any video from your Bangalore warehouse? Unfortunately, it's one of the top tech thing, and when we enter the warehouse, we have to give away the phones. So no recordings are allowed. So only those videos are from a restricted media. So unfortunately, I don't have any Bangalore warehouse video.
I think that's where data privacy thing comes in, uh, probably.
Yeah. And also competitors, right? So Amazon also doesn't talk about what robots, what they're using and how it is used. So there are certain GDPR and let's say confidentiality of things.
But you shared one video which showed the DHL.
Yes, so that's in the public domain. So whatever videos that I've showed for DHL, it's available in the public domain.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for that session. I think the comments are still coming in. So there's a question, can I leave attendance link? Uh, there is no attendance link which will be given. It's on Zoom, so Zoom is automatically recording your attendance, and from there we will take your attendance and submit to AICT. Thank
There
you,
was one
Amit, you're
question.
right.
Yeah, one question is from Musin Mohammed. What kind of investment will be needed for a country like India for such technologies? Is it affordable for MSMEs? See, one good thing is, I mean, the way I see the future skill set prime, the India AI, how it works is, um, we are, I mean, with the current thing is make in India, and I visited IIT Madras Research Park as well. We are bringing technologies at a low cost so that it can be affordable to a common public, to the micro SMEs. So right now it is expensive, but there are avenues where you can make it cheaper and affordable. So that's something that is required, and that's where our country is moving in the right path. Right now, the robots and other stuff are that's why the any investment which India makes, they are trying to be self-sufficient, bringing that technology transfer and able to do that within India to be self-reliant. So when you can see how the Ministry of Electronics and Communication in the website, the cost of investment which are being done and how they are leveraging it and making it affordable to the micro SMEs.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And before we wrap up today's sessions, I will just request to the participants that if you want to bring this learning to your students also, we have courses on Future Skills Prime. You can get in touch with me on WhatsApp if you want to make a cohort of your students and provide them the courses on AI and automation and other technologies like cyber and all. So thank you so much for that. And first of all, thank you so much, Dr. Pramod, for such an engaging and informative and eye-opening session. It was really, really very nice. And we hope to bring you back for more sessions if time permits and if you have the time, to talk to our participants.
No problem. Thanks, Kamana, for the opportunity, and thanks all for the engaging session.
Thank you so much. We'll wrap it up now. We'll see you tomorrow, participants. Thank you. Bye-bye.